All right, so let's start in our most fundamental start here, which is the breath work, just brief meditation. So I'm going to sit here on my knees and shins, stretch out my ankles. If you want to sit on a block or any other position, laying sometimes we do it as well, or standing. So just try to sit up tall, kind of shake your shoulders out, turn your self-awareness on, set more intentions in the physical body than maybe you have yet today. Lift the crown up, a little lifting of the chest, kind of exaggerating that, okay? The head pulls back over the spine. The lips close, tongue to the top of the mouth. And then you're meditating on the breath. Once your body calms, a slow inhale in your nose, then a slow exhale out the nose. Maybe a slight restriction in your throat, practicing your Ujjayi breath. So it's like you're breathing in and out of the mouth, but the mouth is closed. Now remember, yogis, this simple breath practice of just inhaling a little deeper, slower in your nose, you're following the breath in with your mind's eye, with your awareness, and then you're exhaling slower, and you're trying to exhale deeper than normal, following the breath out. This is like the main pranayama. It's used all the time. Like say you're trying to meditate or calm your mind. You inhale, you feel the breath rising. Oh, okay, you get distracted by a thought. Come back to the breath rising. You start to exhale, you feel the breath falling. Oh, you get distracted. Come back to the breath falling. You inhale, the breath is rising, you're meditating on it. Oh, you're distracted by something. Come back to the breath rising. Exhale. Oh, you're thinking of your anxiety or your stress. Come back to the breath falling. That's the simple thing. Last night, I don't know if this happened to anyone else, but last night I tossed and turned all night. Couldn't really sleep. So what did I keep doing? I was overthinking about a lot of things, and I just kept coming back to the Ujjayi, calm breath. As my mind was overthinking, I come back to the inhaling. And I come back to the exhaling. And that's one of the main things we work on in the practice is staying present when our mind is overworking. We use the breath to come back to our intention, self-awareness, and presence. Okay. So that's a really good little tool that you can use anywhere, anytime your mind isn't acting the way you want it to. All right? Let's keep going, guys. Next posture is downward dog. If you want to throw in a little cat-cow or something today, remember you always add that. I'm going to skip it, go right to our dog. I sometimes like to add down dog here, so I'll shift a little forward, find my plank, like a cat, and then I'll shift back to my cow. And you can bend your knees. See how my spine is rounded, and then my spine starts to arch. So I'm doing a little cat-cow upright today in the dog. But take a few moments to get into your body. The idea is to kind of work from the ground up. Your feet are bearing your weight all day. They're moving on the ground, balancing you, holding you up. So we start from there, right? They're like the main space holding the most weight. Your hips are only really holding your upper body weight, knees, thighs, and upper body, but the feet are holding full body weight. So you kind of start there, the tightest spot. Run up the body from here. Move around a little bit. You guys know what to do. I like to sometimes lift my heels. We do it as a pose. You drop it over to the right, just kind of getting into your side body. The main goal is to keep your head below your heart. Remember, this is an inversion, something we work towards doing regularly and holding a little bit longer as we get a little stronger and more flexible. Okay, yeah, we're going a little stronger, so take breaks when you need, right? Inhale, right leg goes high. Take a moment to kind of open up your hip. If you want to circle the hip, bring it down and in. Notice I bent my left knee, my left heel is lifted. So, I just soften up my left leg a little bit. I'm still pressing through my palms. Okay, right foot down, left leg rises, a little bit of movement in the knee and the hip, please. The goal is to try to stay inverted, right? Head below the heart. Sometimes in Hatha Yoga, you'll hold down dog, and you kind of keep switching up subtle things, like where the arms are, what the core is doing, what the spine is doing, what the legs are doing. So we're trying to go for that long inversion hold here early in class. When you're done, left leg down, knees down. Thread the needle practice, dynamic range of motion. Exhale, right arm underneath left, right shoulder, ear taps floor. Inhale, right arm up and open. Feel your core. Exhale, right shoulder, ear, hand toward floor underneath. Inhale, right arm up and open. Okay, a few more here, please. Try to keep your spine relatively long. The breath is guiding the movement. And try to feel more, right? We're trying to understand our body better, not necessarily push it further through range of motion. I've spoke to the idea of trying to dynamically rotate your spine every day. Very easy to do it on your morning walk. But here's a nice, more active way where there's a little bit of resistance on that inhaling up and open. Okay, after you do your last 2 or 3 here, good idea to get to about 9 or 12 reps. Thread the needle, so right arm holds underneath left armpit. Try to bring your right ear down, get comfortable, adjust your knees, your hips, your shoulder. You're kind of looking for the sweet spot in this form. It can be a little awkward. Just close your eyes, take a breath or two. So this is called a form of inversion. Now the side of your brain is the lowest part. So you're increasing blood flow to that part of your brain, using the positions to direct the blood flow. Okay. After another breath or two, not going to hold very long there, okay? We're going to inhale that right arm out all the way up and open. And then we'll take the right hand down on the exhale. You might need a little neutralizer is a cat-cow if you feel like you need it. But we're just going to basically start the second side. It's exhale, left arm underneath right armpit. Inhale, left arm up and open. It's a nice warm up for the arms too, where we just lift the leg and down dog and moved it around. Now we are lifting the arm out and up. We're spreading the chest on the inhale. We're spreading the back on the exhale. And the whole time kind of rotating your core. So try to feel strength and stretch in this exercise. Some days you might lean toward one more, right? On a good day, not feeling very tight, I might think activating more, even pulsing here and there, holding, especially on the top, which seems to be more of a strength side. But on a sore, tight, low energy day, I might think a little bit more stretch, a little different subtle way you can change the effects with different intentions, okay? And then once you do 9 to 12 with your breath, you might hold the thread the needle. So that left arm would go underneath for most of us, right? And you just kind of bring your shoulder and head down. Don't forget you can drop your butt towards your heels for child pose variation if it's too awkward to keep your hips over your knees. Everything is at your own pace. Try to be intuitive. Don't let an instructor decide exactly what your body needs, all right? When you feel content there with your thread the needle, inhale. I like to reach that left arm all the way out and up. And then exhale it down. All right, yogis, we're going to meet back in down dog here. Now we're going to go for a few chaturangas. Remember, I like to suggest different variations. Knees, chest, chin, the big wave where you go down and up. Or sometimes on the knees, it's more like child pose and cobra. But from your down dog, more of that Ashtanga variation. Inhale is high plank. Exhale is low plank or to the chest. Inhale is up dog or cobra. Exhale is down dog. Let's take a few more. I think everyone knows this here. Little bit bigger full body movement. Extra push-ups are always good on a strength day. More cobras on a tight day. On a low energy day, child pose to cobra. And if you're feeling like really good, you do that kind of waving demonstration I just did, where you kind of, right from your dog, you bring your chest down between your hands, hips come down, and then the chest comes up and the hips come down. They call that like an Indian push-up, actually, is what it's called in yoga, okay? Or Hindu push-up. Last couple moments here. Just so you know, we are going to yoga squat after this, which will be kind of like a stretch rest. So if you're like holding child pose right now, you're kind of going to be in the next pose the same. Don't forget your knees, chest, chin. When you're in your cobra, you can peek over a shoulder. Try to be creative a little bit, especially if you're feeling, good or a little stretchy variation. Try to roll those shoulders back and down in your cobra, activating the back muscles. We're not going to do too many. We're not going to do too many chaturangas today. We'll do a lot more on Saturday. So once you're in down dog, walk your feet to the front of your mat. So we're coming towards forward fold, but take an inhale, half lift or two, where you take your hands on some teachers say the knees, some teachers say your shins. In classic Hatha Yoga, they say work towards not putting your hands on your legs. So you inhale, half lift, wait into the toes, knees are bent to start, your spine goes more parallel to the floor. Then you exhale, forward fold over the legs. You're welcome to do that another 2 to 3 times if you'd like, or just kind of hang in your forward fold, intertwining your forearms. When I did this yesterday, back of the neck's a little tight, so I was using my hands behind my head to pinch my chin to my chest. It's almost like a plow. You feel a big stretch in the back of your neck and upper back, maybe lower back. To stretch out your shoulders, you could reach your hands behind your back, intertwine your fingers, and arms go up and over. That would be the opposite of like chaturanga and down dog. Nice, yeah. Some of you is crawling your hands around a little bit, like to see that kind of exploratory mentality. Sometimes you're being disciplined and kind of setting more subtle intentions, and then other times the more of that creative expression, right? All right, Yogi Squat is next. So you're going to turn your feet open slightly, maybe widen your feet and drop your butt to your heels. No rush getting there, right? If you feel like you need a few more breaths in your forward bend, take a breath or two here, settling in. Don't forget to sit on a block if you need. Push the knees open with the elbows, but your knees are also pushing kind of back into your elbows, right? Shoulder blades back and down, pelvic floor squeezing, navel slightly pulling in and up, crown of the head lifting. And remember, the head pulls back over the spine a little bit. Onto your breath work. So we're going to do a posture called the Pedigasana. It's the Anjaneyasana with the big side bend. So it's a devil's psoas traction. As your back leg is pulling your psoas back, your upper body and spine arm is side bending, creating a double traction. Okay. Forward fold, lift your hips, turn your toes in. Inhale, half lift. Take your time. Left foot goes to the back of your mat. Back knee goes down. Just notice, yogis, my knee is not underneath my hips. I'm trying to get space between my 2 femurs, which is my big leg bones, thighs, okay? Now today, you might want your block, curl your hands back, top of the back foot down, and we're descending. I want you to think of this pose here like a strength pose. So don't just dump weight. I want you to try to push your feet down, particularly your big toe, where you're not just dumping weight, right? We're lifting the chest up. Sorry, maybe a little padding here today. My knee's a little sensitive. And then if you're up for it, you can reach your arms up to the sky. Okay, so you're here to start. If you're feeling good, arms go up. And then I want to add our Pedigasana. So right hand would either go on the thigh or the block, and it's a side bend. My left arm goes up and over to the right As I descend my hips down, press my feet down, pull my navel in, squeeze my pelvic floor. Last 3 to 4 breaths, please. So from this other angle, just in case, I'm here, and then I'm here. So remember, hip flexors are right here, kind of your upper hip, and your strongest hip flexor is your iliopsoas. It's your psoas major and minor, which run deep through, from spine through pelvis to inner leg. And that runs, psoas major minor with your iliacus, that big inner hip muscle. They line together. Okay, so that's the biggest, strongest hip flexor. Let's keep going. Hands down. We're going to go right to our second side now, Yogi. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, half lift. Boom, right foot goes back. Back knee goes down. Hands walk back. Top of your back foot down. Notice my front knee's over my front heel. I'm pressing my feet down. Notice how that changes the feeling here a little bit. Okay? You can go both arms up if you're feeling good. If you're feeling ready, your right arm goes to the left. Side bend in your core. Hold position and breathe now. This is really big stretching here, guys. So it's okay to take breaks, not hold as long. Remember, I'm trying to challenge the best feeling person in the room. So if today's not your day, you don't have to do every pose. You do 30, 45% of this, you do like 30, 45 minutes of this class and you skip 15 minutes of it, you're still getting a lot of benefit. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. That's something I'm learning slowly, okay? Being a little easier on my body, especially on those days where it's what my body kind of needs. Don't use so much energy when energy's low, all right? Now, when you're done, let's step to the front of our mat. Nice job there, guys. Now, we're gonna bend our knees and slowly stand up. If you want a little bit of like a, release, that's good. So we did that. We're going to stay with the side body for 2 more exercises. So just go slow. This one is tightening, and it is now, it's glute medius, so it is quite different. Chair posture. Hands today a little bit different, like in prayer. I think we did this like last week in one of the classes. And now let's sit into our chair pose. Let's start to bear weight on those legs. Okay? And then what you're going to do is shift your weight to let's do left foot down first today. I'm going to hover that right foot. So this might be enough, right? Try not to overarch your back or over around your spine. Pull the ribs in a little bit, especially if you arch. Shoulders back and down. Now look at the right leg. It goes out to the right. I pause. Did my spine go too much to the left? No. I'm feeling my outer hips tense now. And then I'm going to hover that right foot down after a pause. I don't want to see leg swings. You can do like a few like that, but the goal is to create stability in your hips right now. If you can't hold your leg out, that does mean your hips are weak, right? There's no weight. So we're just trying to get that leg out there and hold it. And then you feel a little burn, and then you don't put the foot down. You just bring it back to hover. Now, even getting a 6 reps is good here if you're new to it. With practice, you're going to be able to do a lot more because, again, it's just the weight of your leg. It's not a lot. What is the average leg weight? Like 48 pounds or something like that, right? So should be fine here. Now, I want you to take your time, do your second side. Right foot comes down. I see a lot of you starting to rest, right? So that's when I'll cue it. Left foot hovers an inch. You're in your chair. Don't bring the leg forward now. Left leg goes out to the side and you pause. Try to flex your left foot a little bit too. As we're strengthening that hip, it's a good idea to keep your foot active. You're kind of connecting activations through the knee at that point, hip to foot, cross knee, right? And just to be clear, guys, this is going to be tough because both hips are working. This is also abducted. You're using both hips. Just notice, I don't go really far with the upper body. I want to try to just go out, hold, okay? Out, hold. Now with practice, I like the pulse. It's kind of too easy because I do it with bands, so I'll put bands around my thighs. You know, I did this yesterday where I had to band around my knees, and you can't really go out very far. It's just like this, but it's really an incredible way to stabilize your hips, okay? You guys feel that pretty good? Remember, we're trying to be in a gentle chair here, so knees are bent. We're not straight legged, okay? When you're done, feet down. Feet wide, please. You might want your blocks here, all right? I keep moving one block up there. But good idea to have your blocks. So third and final side body pose for a little while is the triangle. Classic Hatha Yoga, we do triangle pretty early and often, okay? So the feet are wide now. The legs are going to be straight and rotated. It's a side body pose, but we're coming into what's called pelvic tilt and lateral flexion again. Or more like just pelvic tilt, right? If you're doing it well, right toes turn to the right. So you can see that foot there, right? Back toes turn in. Arms wide, palms forward. Engage your legs. Drop your right hip down. Lengthen out and hinge. All right, you can do hand on the shin, but just make sure you're engaging your legs. Lengthen through your right side body. Your bottom right hip drives forward. Ribs pull in. Engage your legs. Stretch and strength. Look at my right shoulder near my ear. Get down and away. Couple more breaths. Top arm can even reach far. Come on, let's breathe. Now, things we're looking out for, overarching the back, so you'd have to pull your lower ribs in. And if you look down, you're kind of directly above your front leg, which is the right here. This cue of your bottom hip, which is your right hip, going kind of forward in space, your upper body leaning back in space, over your front leg. So if I were to look at you from like a very front angle, it's like your body is very narrow and linear. So your upper body is not out over like in front of you, okay? It's leaning back. And you're turning your navel and chest to the sky, pressing the big toe down, squeezing the legs together, squeezing your pelvic floor, pulling your navel in a little bit as well, right? Shoulder blades back and down. So just give you a little bit longer of a hold, try to settle in, good at least minimum 30 seconds, trying to make it to about a minute, all right? And there's your minute already, right? So I'm looking at a clock right here. Let's do our second side. Let's rise up. And left toes turn out. Nice. Some of you are ahead of me. That's cool. Turn your right toes in. And there you go. Your left hip drops down. Your left toes should be all the way open to the left side. If your left toes are turned in, you can't really, laterally hinge and laterally tilt as well. So we're trying to go for that max lateral tilt. We did lateral leg lifts and lateral flexion already. Here's that middle space. So there's a system to this madness, okay? There you go. Engage your legs, yogis. Press your big toes down. Breathe. Work those legs. Make it strength if you tend to be flexible here. Lighten up if you tend to be really tight here. Lengthen through the spine, shoulder blades back and down. Your head pulls back over your spine a little bit, right? Try to relax a little bit now. In yoga, we're always trying to teach the body to bend over in all these different ways, because that's life. You have to bend over a lot, right? Pick up stuff. You're around your house. You're bending over to fold laundry, to even do things like that. Even like sitting on the chair is like bending over considered, right? So teach that body to bend over skillfully with control. All right, yogis, now you're kind of on your own pace, right? Some of you took a while to get into that, and some of you were kind of in before I even started. So at that point, you gotta be honest with yourself. Where are you? What do you need to do, okay? Now, we're going to go right to pyramid into revolve triangle. It's classic Hatha Yoga. It is 2 parts. Pace yourself. I'm going to pivot to the right. Now, my hips are facing forward. So, look, if my hands showed you, this was triangle. See how my hips are here? My hands can show you what my hips are doing, right? Now I turn to the side. So you can't see my right fist now because my hips turn to the right. Make sure you get a pretty long stride. Feet are about hip-width distance. Front toes this way, back toes angled open, all right? Right hip back. Inhale, lift the chest. If you want to lift your left arm or both arms for more challenge, you know, the more difficult respectively there. So one arm up is more challenge, both arms up is most challenge. Start to hinge here, yogis. And remember to have your blocks. Take hamstring stretch. We did Anjaneyasana and triangle. Now we're going for the other two missing components. Right hip back, lengthen your chest, forward fold. Remember, you can do this with your back knee down. That's like a half pyramid or half splits. That's our easier option. More challenging is to kind of keep your hands off the floor and basically apply more strength, working subtle activations. I'm like, didn't sleep well yesterday. I played basketball 4 days in a row. I can barely walk. So I would be taking really therapeutic versions today. I definitely would have the knee down probably. If not, I'd be having hands-on blocks, going really slow. So what's your condition today? And how can you make the practice most effective for the current status? Okay, now you're going to inhale, half lift. Now, this is the second part. I know it's tough to stay bent over. Take your left hand on that block inside your right foot and start to turn your core to the right arm out and up. We're getting to a little bit more strength and flexibility, endurance. So it's called Revolve Triangle. Just in case you need your demo, you're here, you were here, now you're here. Okay, so we did that big thread, the needle rotational exercise to wake up the twist. Now we're going big. Okay, last few breaths. Iyengar used to talk about the triangle poses, right? Active legs, active stretching, and stabilizing within hyper ranges, and meditating in them, right? So you're getting like Iyengar 101 right now, okay? Here we go, right hand down, and knee, let's rise up. Shake it out a little bit in between. That's not a thing that's classically taught in yoga, but I like to add that because I think it's like true release. Triangle pyramids, they're like tense, right? So there can be a lot of tension building. I like to just say shake it out so you can do the second side with some enthusiasm and quality. Now here we go. Let's keep going, yogis. We're already halfway through class, all right? Left hip back. My feet are about hips width distance. Now I know a lot of teachers will say heel to heel alignment like this. That's intermediate, definitely, right? So if not like advanced almost in a lot of circles. You see how my feet are still have some space? About hips width distance, okay? And then I'm gonna start to hinge. Don't forget, left hand can go on hip to pull it back in space. The hips always wanna like do their own thing. You gotta set more intention, like basically more body control. Don't let the body just do silly, unnecessary things, okay? Hands go on nice. Some of us already forward folding, a few of us staying upright a little higher. Don't forget you can flex your front foot for a bigger stretch in the back of your ankle, calf, and knee. Nice, yeah. Reverse prayer, binds, you know, sometimes we pull on the front leg when you're getting really experienced here, or you even bind the back leg. Not gonna show that right now, I'm a little too tight, sorry guys, but just a reminder. Nice, yeah, some of you are bending your knee. Don't forget that. You can always soften the knee here, okay? Especially if you hyperextend the knee. Some people's knee like over straightens, so you get this like bowing of the knee. You'd wanna bend the knee. Now you're gonna inhale half lift when you're ready, please. Right hand on the block or the floor. It starts inside the foot, eventually you actually go outside the foot. Turn your navel and your chest to the left, and your left arm is gonna reach out and up, okay? All right, so final pose down here. Keep working. This is full body. I want you to notice, do your legs not activate well? Is your core not twisting well? Is your arms not spreading and lengthening out well? It's full body, your spine lengthening well and turning. Where are you lacking awareness and intention? Add it. That's called, you know, asana. More intelligent, functional, optimized body awareness and forms. So asana is yoga of the physical. And that's what we're doing right now. Okay, not vinyasa, asana. All right. Well, looks like some of you guys are done there, okay? Left hand goes down, bend front knee, rise up, Give it a little release. Now, we got a couple more postures standing. All standing yoga is going to be done right now, okay? We got one big pose with the shoulder release now. This is all horizontal abduction and adduction. I want to go rotation now. Bend knee, stabilize it. Think of it like your second and final round of chair pose, okay? It's called Utka Konasana. Utkatasana's chair, Konasana's angled. So we're here. So it's the angled chair. I want the feet wide and the toes turned out, okay? We're gonna do one of my favorite kind of unique Hatha Yoga movements here, where my arms go forward. My right wrist is on top of my left. My palm turned down and my fingers intertwine. Now, when I try to keep my palms together, my shoulders back and down. Keeping my fingers together, I bring the hands kind of down, under, up, the chin and forward. And then I go back and around. See this? I'll come up here to show you. So again, I hit my right wrist on top of my left, right? I turn my palms down, intertwine, and then I bring them down and under, and I go forward. Now you're gonna feel a really crazy stretch in your right wrist, right? It's the circling. Spiral is the kind of term now that everyone's using in the biology world. The spiral lines of the body. Main goal truly is leg strength though. If you have to pick one, strong legs or mobile arms, I would probably say strong legs, but we don't have to pick, so luckily we can do both, all right? All right, so listen, take a little break, shake it out a little bit. If you want to forward fold, you can just for a moment. Don't forget you can have like a vinyasa type palate cleanser, where I inhale, lift my chest, hands around my hips. Then I forward fold, kind of reaching for the floor. Because we got one more round there, yogis, and that's your last, it's your last bend knee challenge, because we're going to do a little warrior 3, and one more standing exercise when you're done with standing, okay? Here we go. I want double bend knee. One more go here. And then once you're down into that Utka Konasana, the wide angled chair, your left wrist goes on top of your right, your palms turn down, intertwine your fingers, and then you go here. You know, if you can't do that, I totally get it. I teach this in gentle yoga for spiral line. You see how I go right palm up to the back, left palm down to the back? That's going to be similar. I don't really ever teach that in strong yoga. I think we did it about a month ago in Warrior 2, right? But that's a really good one to remember. That's kind of the same. The fingers intertwine as closed chain. You're going to get a bigger stretch. Slightly different, but pretty much the same. Last few moments here. Come on, sit low. I remember when one of my teachers said, it is an anatomy teacher, it's not a yoga teacher. He said, if your legs aren't strong, if you can't get up out of bed and walk around all day, core and upper body strength don't matter. Your spine and your upper body sit atop your legs. You know, he was talking about like not doing your legs is a really big problem, because remember that the legs, your body is so interesting. When we strengthen or stretch our legs, you get stretch or strength response in your upper body. If you strengthen your legs, your upper body gets stronger. But if you strengthen your arms, your lower body does not get stronger. So you got to remember that when you're deciding how to use your limited time in physical conditioning and maintenance. Legs first, core second, and I'm not trying to downgrade arms. You got to do arms too, but legs first, yogis. All right, that's where the will is needed. Nice job. Look at most of you just look down there. 1 or 2, you're still going. All right, so let's do this one here. Turn your toes in. Inhale, we'll all take it down now. Forward fold. Take a few breaths. Not going to hold you here long. We did triangles and the pyramid, okay? If you want to do a headstand, might be a nice time here. I will give you a few moments for inversion in about 10, 15 minutes, all right? Main goal is inversion. Back to your head below your heart. We've been upright for a while now. Some of us pyramids and inversion, but not triangles, right? So get that head back down, calm your nervous system with some smooth breathing. Now, to end practice in the standing form. We're going to do 2 rounds of Warrior 3. First is going to be pretty basic. Second is going to be creative and optional options, okay? When you're done with your neutralizing forward fold, stand up, please. Feet are still wide, right? Remember, in Hatha Yoga, we always say legs are always kind of together. Get those legs open, keep them open. Turn your toes to the right, pivot. Now, Warrior 3. If you're ready to go to standing split, if you want to do some handstand hops, this might be a good opportunity. 2 rounds today. Hands on hips. If you want to do a little extra, you didn't get to do this earlier, hands behind your back. Don't forget reverse prayer is fun, or even something like Gomukhasana. Don't forget, if you're going to do Gomukhasana, my right leg is forward in Warrior 3. My left arm would go up, elbows in, and I'd work here. So I'm just suggesting some things. We got about 8 people today in class, 9 people, all regulars. So less telling you what to do, more suggestions, okay? Bend that knee, start to hinge. I'm demonstrating my Gomukhasana bind. That right arm is up the back from the bottom. Let's hold the position here. It's almost like another round of pyramid, right? Those postures are quite similar. Different though, because in pyramid, your legs are going to squeeze together, forward and back. Here, they're actually your legs lifting up away from your other leg. So it's the same as half moon difference versus triangle. Now, in core yoga, remember we were going up and down here. I had you hinging and up, one leg, hinging and up, hinging and up. Now you're holding, so you're getting both this week. Hinges are fundamental. You have to be able to bend over well, and probably good to add balance, okay? Nice job. So about half of you look like you're done there. Come on, practice for your strength today. Don't rely on the teacher to make you stay there now. Suck inside, all right? You pivot to the side. Some of you are just kind of stepping your back foot forward. That's cool. Left leg down and right leg's gonna go up. Remember, we're not trying to open the hip. We did the chair lateral leg lift instead today of half moon, all right? Pinky toe of right foot down if you're flexing your foot. Don't let right hip lift. Drop right hip down if your right leg is lifted. Yep, Gomukhasana would be right arm up here. Yep. Have some fun here, yogis. Be creative. It's okay. You can't do every yoga pose. If it's got to be standing splits today, if it's got to be, lunge, Warrior 3 squats, which I was going to show next. Okay. Nice. A few really strong intentional moments. The longer you hold, the less quality you're going to be able to maintain. I probably, on the average, want to teach my body quality activations. That's the memory. If you are in a longer hold, I know a lot of teachers, we do that sometimes, right? But, if you're in stuff like this, you are teaching your body this. If you're like this more regularly, you're teaching your body this, and then when you're here, you're going to be like this more. Practice the body you desire, all right? Don't get in the habit of having to hold too long. That's why I say it has to be very different for everyone. All right, listen, guys, stand up. Final standing pose. Can I show you a couple fun options? I want to show you first, and then which one is kind of resonating with you? Peak standing challenge, okay? Warrior 3. Now listen, this is the first side. Now watch, I bend my knee. Half moon, left toes turn open, chest left. Revolved half moon. Half moon, I'm not using my hands. Left hand down, right arm up, revolved half moon. So there's a fun version. Wow, going from my revolved half moon to my other. Here's another fun version. Half moon, same leg is down. Bend my right knee, straighten my right leg. Bend, straighten. Another fun version. Bend both knees in, straighten both legs out. Okay? Other fun versions include standing split, moving from standing split from knee into your chest. How about you get into your practice for a few moments with a little freedom today in standing yoga? A lot of times we do it in inversions or even in stretching, but how about we take a little free time? I want you to be on one leg, and I want you to kind of try something you don't do. We've been doing postures,
how about you explore and try something new that maybe you haven't done in a while or before, okay? Most likely that first one I showed, right? Half moon transition. Don't forget to bend your standing knee. Your chest would turn open to the left if your right foot is down. Toes would turn out to the left, left arm up, nice. And then left hip comes down, left toes point down, right arm goes out and up. Okay, so that's revolved half moon. That would be usually exhale if you were doing breath led. Okay, so inhale would be half moon, and slowing down your exhale all the way to revolved half moon. Last few moments on your first leg. Nice, yeah, and just doing something simple like coming into half moon, or I'm sorry, warrior three like this, yogis. Doing something simple like just going here. Can't go wrong with that, right? Another fun one could be going a little, out to wide half moon if you want to go crazy. I make it look easy, yogis. I do this stuff regularly, all right? That's all it is. I used to not be very good at this stuff. So let's do our second side. Have fun in your standing practice today, yogis. This is it. Then we're going to be on the ground. Nice. There it is. Yeah, so there, Stephen, you're bending both of those knees. Nice. You're adding all of it together. That's nice. The idea is like we've been holding postures, pyramids, the Utkakonasanas, the triangles, the first word, and now you're like, let's move in the balance. There it is, nice. And a lot of these are just throwing in extra postures from previous classes. That's what I want to see, all right? So it looks like some of you look done, a few still going. Can only see about 3 screens now. All right, so we're gonna make our way back down to the ground, guys, and I think maybe kind of a weird day, right? We're not doing a lot of lunges. Big hinge day, if you're looking at it like the biomechanics. Let's do a sun salutation to make our way down, all right? Here we go, big inhale, let's reach our arms up. Let's kind of cleansing the palate, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Optional vinyasa, chaturanga. So I do want to go one more big weight bearing on the arms. We didn't do that much, really. I'm going to teach the dolphin. The reason I like to teach this one, yogis, is because if you know your biomechanic, it's the 5 actions, so it really covers a lot of muscles in one go. Down dog, right? Or dolphin, or forearm balance, or headstand, or handstand. Dolphin is probably a good starter. Forearms down, hips lift. Another great way to get a lot of muscles done quick, it tends to be a little bit more core, is a side plank. I already did a lot of side bodies, so I'm going to skip it today. You're going to walk your feet forward. If it's easy, one leg go up, right? With practice, you can do a little hop, get up on that wall, or some of us might be able to hover. So I'm demoing the forearm balance. Always land soft, right? So I mentioned a little free time and inversions. Just to be clear, this is it. If you want to get upside down in a little headstand, remember that this is headstand A. Just notice my crown is down, not my forehead. My hands are kind of cupping the back of my head. Elbows are hugged in, they're not way out, right? So that's a nice one here. Your shoulders are going to get killed in the headstand there. Killed isn't a good word. Really, they're going to work really hard, all right? And obviously handstand is going to be crazy arms, full body balance. Dolphin is such a good place to start.
side planks if you feel like you need that today, okay? How about we take another like minute and a half inversion, upper body weight bearing exercise. More freedom. What do you need today? Practice on developing your own intuitive intentions. Yeah, handstand hops are fun too, right? They're going to work your upper arms a lot. And some of you are doing your own things. Nice little plank work. Give it one more go, though. That's how you get better. Strong hands. Nice, guys. So that is last inversion of class. Kind of getting two things done there. Full body inversions with some upper body weight bearing exercise. You know, it's funny, in like the modern fitness, you tend to see a lot of people doing like extra arms. Not enough core, not enough lower body for sure, legs. So we're trying to switch that in this class. It's almost like we're not doing enough arms. All right. So you got to go strong here. If we're not doing a lot of time on arms, get it done here, intense, till you fail once or twice, and then you're doing pretty good. So listen, here in the end, yogis, swing your legs around. And I'm going to do 2 core exercises today. And then we'll do a final bridge and wheel, and then you're done with any strain. So it starts like this, just laying on the back. If you want to do anything else, that's fine. I'm going to go legs up today, since legs wide is the thing we're working on. And then we're going to do eagle crunch too, right? So you're going to inhale your arms back. Remember that this is down dog. It's like, it's Ardha Uttanasana, it's down dog. Same body form. I'm going to widen my legs really wide, and I'm going to do a little crunch. Then I'm going to inhale, my legs come together, my lower back stays down, my arms reach back. Exhale, I'm going to reach through and crunch. I can even add a little pulse. I want a little extra. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last few. Not too much abs today here, yogis, but I know, let's keep doing it regularly. You know, if my back was hurting today, which some days it does, you know, I work out pretty hard, so I wouldn't probably do abs that hard. I might just hold like a leg lever, which means my head and lower back are pressing down, arms down, and my legs are up, and they just go forward a little. Just kind of like isometrically tighten them up. I wouldn't really do like big leg movements and crunches on a really sore back day. And I'm going to bring you right into the next part. It's a little bit more like slow and still. Final pose here is the eagle now. We've been doing eagle standing for weeks and months. Let's try it here on the back. Right thigh over the left. Now, some of us just have to stay here, right? Or some of us can get the double wrap. See how my right foot's behind my left ankle calf? Now, easiest is just to go here, right? Head, arms down, and just reach your legs forward and work on pressing your lower back down. But if you want more, right arm underneath left, you're going to inhale, lengthen, just keep your lower back down. Then you're going to exhale, squeeze. Okay? Inhale, lengthen, exhale, squeeze. Eagle crunch. Really tune into your abs here, yogis. Feel, breathe. You really can't do too many of these, right? And then your second side, please. Release your legs. And left, no, save a little energy for your second side. The left thigh over right, double wrap if you can, and left arm under right, eagle arms.
You know, the idea is, yogis, we did like so much of this with our arms like this, triangles. What else did we do there? Thought we did a lot there today. And now you're kind of stretching your back here, okay? And then you're doing your eagle crunch. Just remember, as your legs go a little forward and your arms go a little back, your arch, your back might form. Try to actively keep that lower back arch pressing down, okay? Then you crunch elbows to knees. This is your last front body exercise. You will have the option of doing strong or soft back bends after this. There it is. All you gotta do is like a few with real lot of intensity and intention. The Hatha Yoga scriptures always talking about you're trying to experience intensity. I'm trying to think of the exact quote. The self of the one who experiences intense action becomes intensely pure. So listen, yogis, we're gonna just kind of close up practice here. We got about 10 minutes left with a quick bridge wheel, depending on how you're feeling, or restorative bridge if you're really feeling done. But we did some back bends, not too many, probably a good idea to get one in here. We did Anjaneyasana, and we did a little standing back bend, a few cobras and up dogs. So how about we get one last good round or two of a bridge or a wheel. Block between your thighs is always nice. One-legged bridge is great. We did one-legged hip thrusts on Tuesday. If you're feeling that still, maybe take it easier. Wheel would be really big go. If you're feeling good, go for it. The wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upward bow. Flip those hands, lift everything up. Just try not to let the elbows bow out. No takers on wheel this morning. All right. Ooh, nice. Reverse plank's a good one. Bow, locust can all work here. I know some of this stuff can get repetitive, yogis, but you gotta be resilient on regularly strengthening your back body. A guy saw me, this one guy, he's nice. He's always talking to me at the gym, and he's really big guy, stiff, super strong, and he wants to get more flexible. And he was squatting next to me, and he saw me, I do weighted squats, like all the way down, right? And he's like, man, I want to really increase my range. And he's talking about hip flexors being so tight. And I keep telling him he has to strengthen his back body more, because he's like huge in his front. And I told him to stretch, but my real advice was, you got to strengthen, he's like huge and his butt's all small. And I was like, you need to strengthen your glutes, your back body. Because if you can't squat deep, it means your glutes don't fire well probably anyway. So, that was my advice to him 2 days ago when I was working out. You got to strengthen your back body more. It actually helps your front body like release a lot. You're doing that right now. All right. So listen, yogis, you're going to finish up your back bends here. Take another good 30 seconds. And I just want to take like a stretch or two. We don't need to do, inner thighs are pretty done, right? So because we did goddess, Utka Konasana, we did triangle, done there. We don't need to do hip flexors, done. Hamstrings done. So probably like a rotational stretch in the hips, a pigeon, a figure four, even like a medial stretch where your right hip turns in. The other hip stretch that could be needed is your front thigh, right? So your quadricep. You can't do everything every day. What do you need? What stretch? What do you do less of? Do you always do pigeon? I actually do this like more. Like I tend to be stretching my front thigh more. Okay, because we didn't really bend the knee that deep like this. We did our yogi squat, maybe a little child pose, but here I'm squeezing that heel to the butt, pulling my ribs and feeling my front thigh stretch. And this is the other one I was mentioning, more of like a rotational quality. This or this. So small group of regulars, come on now. I like to bring my arms to the angle here. You see how if you're doing this one, take one of yours on, the arms go to the 45-degree angle from the ear. That's pec minor release. I often mention that muscle because it's related to thoracic outlet syndrome. There's this deep under pec muscle, like under the here. And when that gets tight, it pinches on this nerve that causes like numbness, tingling, weakness, pain in the arm. The other place that happens is here, the side of the neck. But you know, if your shoulders roll forward, you're very likely candidate for that thoracic outlet. So you need the pec minor release, right? It's either here, or it's like here, or it's here. So we didn't do much of those today. So another twist might be good if you feel like you need one. We didn't do too many, so might be good to take your knees into your chest, drop them off to the side. If you want to throw your legs up in the air, if you didn't get to do like a full body inversion, I mentioned Dolphin earlier, and the bodies were doing like side plank or plank. So if you want to like throw your legs up the wall, that's nice. Think like a therapeutic, like you're just releasing now at this point. You did enough work. There's a lot of mixed information out there when you're studying like stretching and basically creating workout routines, yoga classes or whatever. Do you stretch in the beginning? Do you stretch in the middle? Do you stretch at the end? The answer is all can be productive and beneficial. When I exercise, I literally just listen to my body. What do I need? What have I done less of? And what's my current situation in the body? If you're a weightlifter, you're probably not going to want to stretch too much. If you're like a hypertrophy bodybuilder, you're probably not going to want to stretch and foam roll too much, in between or after, right? If you're like a yogi and you want to do like the big poses, stretching before is pretty good. Always a good idea to get warmed up a little before stretching. I like to mainly mix it in all throughout class, well-rounded classes in a group style, but really you have to personalize it because there's no best answer. So some of you are still going with your final stretches here. I want to get to closing meditation. You got a couple rounds of free. It's about 9:58. So you take another minute here, yogis. Finish up your final pose. And really, I want you to try to surrender to this meditation, okay? So you're practicing surrender, letting go, becoming vulnerable, opening up. No rush, take your time. So we started in seated meditation, now we end in the meditation. Some of you are still going with a big pose. You take your time, okay? Just try to let your body rest, center, and ground. You can do a little breath work in the beginning. Remember the inhale if your mind's going crazy, coming back to the inhale, rising. Exhale, your mind wanders to something. Come back to the present. Feel the exhale falling. That's really my favorite way to create presence in the body. You could do a tree pose anytime, but closing your eyes and connecting to your breath is my favorite presence catalyst, okay? So final meditation, yogis. Let me give you a good 3-4 minutes here at least, and I'll wake you up slowly.